From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning as we look ahead to Sunday. It's going to be a First Alert Weather Day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gusts up around 60 to 65 miles per hour. We've seen a lot of that this spring. Even for this morning, it's a little breezy out there still for the Kittitas Valley and for the lower Columbia Basin, the Blue Foothills, and the Blue Mountains. Right now, temperatures in the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, but again, in those breezes, it could feel a little bit cooler than that. 30s up in the Cascades, 30s and 40s up in the Blues. There are some very light sprinkles over the Tri-Cities in the Walla Walla area. This is all pretty light stuff. It is not going to be a washout this morning by any stretch. We are seeing some reductions in visibility in the Blues and the Cascades, so if you're traversing US 12, Interstate 90, Oregon 204, Interstate 84, just know you could run into some fog. And of course, take it slow, use the low beams. Here's your day planner for today for lower elevation. Should have a decent amount of sunshine. High temperatures are still going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. We'll have showers and thunderstorms likely for tomorrow, a little bit drier for Sunday. Very windy on Sunday, especially in the Kittitas Valley, and we'll keep it, we'll warm things up into next week and we'll turn drier. I'll touch on all these points coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, Governor Ferguson hitting the road and landing right here in Kennewick to sign nearly a dozen new laws. Why he says this visit matters.
And City Hall in Sunnyside shutting down today, and it's not for a holiday. We have what's behind the unexpected closure.
And a Richland ag company hit with a record-breaking fine. What state investigators say they found and what happens next. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Friday, May 16th. We made it to the end of the week.
Finally made it.
We did. It's Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Getting ready for the weekend. Of course, we'll check in with Josh to see what that weekend forecast is going to look like. But first, we want to start off in Kennewick this morning. That's where Governor Bob Ferguson made his first official visit to the Tri-Cities.
And the visit came with some big action as he took the opportunity to sign nearly a dozen bills into law.
Yeah, but it's not just about politics. Governor Ferguson says he made the trip to meet some very special people in our community.
Our very own Monique Ledesma speaking with the governor directly about the policies he's personally passionate about. Take a look.
Governor Ferguson usually signs bills into law at the state capitol in Olympia, but this time he's hitting the road and making a stop in Kennewick, signing the bills into law with the people who helped create them.
This was a chance to highlight the hardworking legislators in this part of the state who have brought these bills forward that help students, that help farmers, that help public safety.
One of the 11 laws Ferguson signed will help local first responders.
When a thief steals from a first responder, they're keeping them from doing their life-saving work in an emergency. Senate Bill 5323 increases penalties for theft of essential equipment of firefighters and emergency medical service providers. It does this by expanding the definition of first-degree possession of stolen property and first-degree theft. This bill passed unanimously out of the state legislature for obvious reasons, right?
Another law, helping more high school students have access to college-bound scholarships.
It's important because under the old law, if you got your GED instead of getting a traditional high school course, you were not eligible for these scholarships. Well, that doesn't make any sense. There's different pathways to getting your high school degree. So why are we excluding those who get a GED as opposed to a typical diploma like I got? So I just so appreciate the legislators who worked in a bipartisan way to say, hey, that doesn't make sense. Let's eliminate that restriction and open up to more students who choose a different path to get their high school degree.
Governor Ferguson says that most of the laws that he signed into effect today are set to be implemented on July 1st. Reporting in Kennewick, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
And staying in Washington legislature news, former state representative Phyllis Gutierrez Kenny died on Tuesday. She was 89 years old. In 1997, she was appointed to the House of Representatives, serving the 46th legislative district. She retired in 2012 after 8 consecutive terms in the House. On April 10th, the Washington State Senate passed Resolution 8646 recognizing Kenny, and she was instrumental in helping underserved communities and striving for education equality.
5:04 and summer break is right around the corner, and that means free meals are back for kids in Kennewick.
The Kennewick School District is teaming up with the USDA to make sure that kids 18 and under stay fed, no questions asked. So take a look at your screen. Most locations will be serving Monday through Thursday, with a few also open on Fridays. And there's no need to sign up, just show up at one of the open meal sites between June 16th and July 22nd.
Yeah, meal locations include Amistad, Edison, Eastgate, and Washington Elementary Schools, and then also Highlands and Park Middle Schools, and then all three high schools, Kennewick, Southridge, and Kamiakin, as well as Tritech Skills Center.
And there are also some closed meal sites for YMCA and special education programs at Canyon View, Southgate, and Westgate Elementary. Following up on two kids at the center of an Amber Alert in Oregon, both are now safe and in protective custody. New details and video coming in showing Washington State Patrol found them. So take a look at this dash cam video. Now, as you saw it there, troopers used a pit maneuver to stop the suspected car during Tuesday's chase, and officials spotted the stolen car on I-90 just east of George. Troopers tried to confront the driver, and he took off, leading troopers on a chase down the highway. After that pit maneuver, they took 29-year-old Aiden Osman Abdi and 26-year-old Traviana Shoulders into custody. Now, both are facing multiple charges.
5:06 now, the city of Sunnyside has announced that City Hall will be closed today, but it's not for a holiday. Apple Valley News Now spoke with City Manager Mike Gonzalez, who says it is due to the high volume of public records requests. He says dozens have come in lately, but he is committed to transparency and accountability. So one city council member put in over 60 requests. The other issue, a number of lawsuits that have come in lately. Gonzalez says that he understands this is a burden, but with short staffing, there's just no other option.
We appreciate everybody's patience. We realize that it's a burden to the taxpayers to close, but we've got to catch up on these important functions. And I think the only thing I'll close with is, for small cities like ourselves, these records requests are becoming so burdensome across the state. We simply don't have the staff to pay for it, and it's really become sort of this cottage industry.
So Gonzalez says that there could be other Fridays in the future that City Hall will be forced to shut down. And of course, they will keep everyone updated.
All right, check this out now. A potato truck rollover in Prosser. So talk about mashing up your morning commute.
I know. Take a look. A truck carrying potatoes took a tumble. It was all caught on camera. There it is right there on your screen. Deputies responding to the scene. This was near North Griffin Road and West Snipes Road, where an area farm truck rolled over after hitting that soft shoulder and then losing traction.
Thankfully, no one was hurt aside from a few mashed potatoes.
Dang
French
it.
fries, maybe, if it's hot out there.
I mean, I feel like they're still salvageable, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
Yeah, just
kinda
wash them, right?
Like,
I don't know.
like push them back into the truck.
Yeah,
flip it
or we
over.
can go take them,
Yeah.
free potatoes.
Oh,
Just kidding.
That's such a bummer
Oh, well,
for everyone involved. Dang it.
you're right. Maybe they were salvageable.
I hope so.
Not too bad of a crash.
Yeah. One of those farmers.
All right, still so much more here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, a Supreme Court showdown over birthright citizenship and presidential power began yesterday. And now a statement from a Washington state attorney is adding to the national conversation. We will have the details coming up in just a few minutes.
I'm giving you that live look outside this morning from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. When we come back after the break, we're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth with a look at how today is shaping up. It is 5:09. We're back in just a minute.
Here comes the sun. Get moving with a new car from Overturf Kia. Find your ride with the new 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Named best in class for cargo and passenger space. Now just $38,990. Plus, get 3.9% interest for up to 48 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Friday, May 16th, Polish Homes invites you out to Giesa Stadium for school night with the Dust Devils. It's also a family feast featuring hot dogs, soft drinks, and more for $2.50 each. The following night, Saturday, May 17th, we'll light up the sky above the Tri with a magnificent post-game fireworks show. For tickets, head to the official site, DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
At US Cellular, you can get the amazing new iPhone 16 on us, plus $300 off any iPad, like iPad Air.
That is a great deal. And now an unprompted song to express my excitement.
Just know both devices have Apple Intelligence with Genmoji to express yourself.
iPhone 16 stuns. iPad Air waits in the glow. Sweet.
We should start a band.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in or plan requirements, plus $300 off any iPad. US Cellular, built for us.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories, including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
It's Idol's grand finale, live coast to coast.
You might just win this whole thing.
John, Brianna, Jamal. Who will be your next American Idol?
Dim the lights, and here we go.
American Idol grand finale live Sunday on ABC.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now, on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We start off in Kittitas County, where these temperatures are spanning from 35 to 47, 47 in Ellensburg, 35 up towards Snoqualmie Pass. In the Yakima Valley, these temperatures from 41 to 46, 46 for Grandview, 41 in Yakima. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, we're right around, well, we're bouncing between 45 to 50 degrees, 50 for the Tri-Cities, 47 up towards Connell. Then in the Blue Foothills, also 40s and 50s. Right at 40 for Heppner, but right at 50 for Pendleton, then in the 30s and 40s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Here's your codecast for today for the Tri-Cities. A light jacket weather for the first half of the day, then into the afternoon it's going to be more t-shirt weather, as these highs are going to end up being about still 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. So for today, we will have some shower chances this morning in the Cascades, also in the Kittitas Valley. But other than that, it should be a dry day. And like I mentioned, these highs 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. That means 60s and 70s for lower elevations, 40s and 50s up in the mountains. Winds are going to be, it's going to be breezy out there for today. Now, we'll have lighter winds for the Yakima Valley, also up in the Blue Mountains. And these will persist through the evening, but should be much calmer temporarily after 11 p.m. For tonight, this is when shower and thunderstorm chances become much more likely in the Cascades. We'll have about 10 to 30% chances of that to the east of there. Overnight lows falling down into the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the mountains. For tomorrow, shower and thunderstorm chances becoming much more widespread. The wind gusts turning strong, even stronger for Sunday. So I have a preview of that weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. It is 5:13. Taking a look at your national headlines this morning. Just yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court heard oral arguments on a case involving President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship.
And the issue doesn't just focus on the order itself, but also on the broader question of presidential authority and also how much power lower courts have to block these executive actions.
As Laura Aguirre explains, the current court appeared open to limiting the use of nationwide injunction, through justices also expressing caution around the broader implications of changing birthright citizenship standards.
The Trump administration wants the Supreme Court to determine if lower court judges have the authority to interfere with or ban presidential executive orders, pushing back against 3 such lower court rulings that have stalled President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship in the U.S.
The original meaning of the Citizenship Clause extended citizenship to the children of former slaves, not to people who are unlawfully or temporarily present in the United States.
We said after the Civil War we were never again going to debate whether a child born on U.S. soil is in fact an American citizen.
The administration frames its argument as a modest effort to limit the ability of lower courts to issue universal injunctions. But critics say a ruling in the administration's favor in this case could allow it to, in essence, overturn the 14th Amendment.
If we take that away, then we have babies born in this country with no attachment to any country.
Some of the key points being engaged by both liberal and conservative justices today, allowing Trump's executive order to stand, could lead to requiring individuals to file their own lawsuits to protect their citizenship rights, and the possibility that birthright citizenship would only be upheld on a state-by-state basis.
Let's just say Colorado brings a case like the one we did here, but let's say Idaho doesn't. What happens if you're born in Idaho? You don't get the benefit of the ruling. You're not a citizen, but what if you move to Colorado? Do you become one?
We're standing up not only from a moral place, but also because we believe in the rule of law and what it has been in this context for over 150 years.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
And here in Washington now, State Attorney General Nick Brown, as well as a coalition of attorneys generals, issued a joint statement on the Supreme Court's birthright citizenship arguments just yesterday.
This president is acting unlawfully in violation of the Constitution, and we cannot address a more fundamental issue than the one the court is beginning to address today.
So even though the case reached the Supreme Court in an emergency posture, it's not clear just how long it will take the justices to resolve it. The last time the court held arguments in an emergency case, it took justices several months.
And given the complications involved in the birthright case, it's possible the court will need until the scheduled end of its term, which is next month.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we are going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Bimart camera in Yakima. He's going to break down your forecast not just for your Friday, but also for your upcoming weekend. It's 5:16 and we're back after the break.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on drinks whenever you hit your afternoon slump.
We've got your pick-me-up covered because medium drinks are now $2.29. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down. We were starting a business from the ground up. People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Hi there, I'm Stacey Lee, and it's time again for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick this Tuesday between 11 and 2 and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring those who serve.
Discover the joy of music with a new Yamaha piano from Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, where elegance meets opportunity. For a limited time, enjoy 24 months of 0% financing on qualified new Yamaha pianos. From timeless grands to cutting-edge digitals, Yamaha delivers beauty, precision, and playability. Visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland, or call 509-567-3113. Life's more fun when you know how to play.
Saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union, money where it matters.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
Get the morning going when you buy one breakfast sandwich and get another one for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The awesome Hiawatha Trail. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday night at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Again, Sunday is a First Alert Weather Day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gusts between 60 to 65 miles per hour. Let's show you how we get there. First, we'll show you futurecast over the next 48 hours. Some of those showers in the lower Columbia Basin of Blue Foothills for this morning should taper off by lunchtime. I think most of us will be dry. We'll continue to keep it dry. But then overnight, that's when things are going to get interesting, especially between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. You can see widespread showers and even some thunderstorms on the map. At this point, that'll really continue throughout the day, sort of splotchy coverage all throughout the day, but some outdoor plans could certainly be impacted for tomorrow. It's not going to be a washout. Be sure to have that First Alert Weather app downloaded. You can get it for free in the App Store and on Google Play, but you can track the rainfall with the interactive radar, and also you can see hour-by-hour precip chances and timing in your neck of the woods. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting over the next couple of days. Models have now trended wetter with this storm system. Still not much doing for the valleys, but could pick up around 0.2 inches of rainfall in the basin, around half an inch for the foothills and Blues. Same thing for the Cascades. Okay, and winds going to be a big factor again. It's really going to come in two waves. The first wave going to be Saturday after 2 p.m. Peak wind gusts up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. The same thing for the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. But the main time frame, and this is why we're going with the First Alert Weather Day, Sunday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Peak gusts around 60 to 65 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, up around 55 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Even the lower Columbia Basin seeing peak gusts around 40 miles per hour. So winds, winds, winds. That has been the main story this spring. After Saturday and Sunday, we trend much drier in the next week, and also we're going to trend a little bit warmer as high temperatures will stay about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal through Sunday, but much more normal for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Showers and storms likely Saturday, maybe a leftover shower Sunday, then pleasant weather for much of next week. In Yakima, showers and storms likely tomorrow, then dry and warmer as we head into next week. In Ellensburg, damaging wind gusts possible Sunday, calmer winds Monday, but we could turn very windy again by Tuesday. In Hermiston, rain and thunderstorms likely Saturday, maybe a few sprinkles left over Sunday and Monday, then dry and pleasant spring weather Tuesday through Thursday. Finally, for Walla Walla, rain and storms likely tomorrow. Rain chances get cut in half Sunday, then again on Monday, then a mostly dry and sunny week in store for next week.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, the new actress for the Buffy reboot has just been chosen, and we're going to let you know who it is. It's all coming up in your entertainment news right after the break. It's 5:22.
Here comes the sun. Get moving with a new car from Overturf Kia. Find your ride with the new 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Named best in class for cargo and passenger space. Now just $38,990. Plus, get 3.9% interest for up to 48 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers?
Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate.
Welcome to Pasco, where we are building a community rooted in culture.
Check out the Farmers Market downtown at Peanuts Park, Saturdays from May through October. Taste something new at one of our diverse local restaurants, the Pasco Specialty Kitchen vendor windows, or our growing food truck scene. And enjoy the natural beauty of our waterfront parks and the Sacagawea Heritage Trail. Shop small, explore local, and experience the spirit of Pasco. Naturally transformative.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, the upcoming reboot for Buffy the Vampire Slayer has chosen its new Slayer.
Yeah, so the original Buffy, Sarah Michelle Gellar, got to surprise the actress with the news.
Plus, the new Final Destination movie hits theaters this weekend, and we have a look at some big names being added to the cast of an Apple TV show. Here's the latest in Hollywood.
How do you feel about helping me save the world?
Good.
You want to be my chosen one? Will you stand by my side and save the world? Yeah?
The upcoming reboot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer has chosen its next Slayer. Ryan Kiera Armstrong has signed on as a series lead alongside Sarah Michelle Gellar, who helmed the original show in the late 90s and early 2000s. Armstrong recently appeared in the Disney Plus Star Wars series Skeleton Crew.
It's not your patient's job to heal you.
The cast of Shrinking on Apple TV Plus is growing. Michael J. Fox has signed on to a major guest starring role in season 3 of the show, joining Jason Segel and Harrison Ford.
Death is coming for our family.
This weekend, Final Destination, Bloodlines hits theaters, more than a decade after the release of the last movie in the franchise. Co-director Adam Stein says they wanted to go bigger for the franchise's 25th anniversary. And happy birthday to Janet Jackson. The 5-time Grammy winner is 59 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Zoreen Shah, ABC News Los Angeles.
That's a bop right there.
Now it's going to be stuck in your head
all day long, and I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad
It's
about
a
it
great
either.
song. Happy birthday, Janet Jackson.
Is it Final Destination where there's the logs in the truck and now, no one can drive behind that kind of truck yet?
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
where that fear came from.
I wonder what this one will have.
Oh, I'm sure
some
million
sort of fear
things that
we're
will
gonna
just
have.
terrify us. Looked like a barbecue was about to blow up in that one.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Just
Exciting.
normal everyday things just out there. Ready
Just
to
in
get
time
ya.
for fire season.
There was a trampoline back there, too.
Yeah, sure something bad's gonna happen there.
Oh,
Yeah.
So great.
Lordy Lord.
Thanks, Final Destination. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A Tri-Cities farm labor company facing more than $1 million in fines. What state investigators uncovered and why workers may have been left in the dark.
Also, from slides and swings to puppy yoga, we've got your guide to what's happening this weekend. Lots of fun for the whole family and maybe even a few furry friends. It's all in your next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, is Apple about to launch the AirPods Pro 3? Software update from Apple reportedly shows a hint. A code string was formerly titled AirPods Pro 2nd generation. Now it says AirPods Pro 2 or later. Stay tuned. Sony is out with an upgraded version of its wireless over-the-ear foldable headphones. They offer improved noise cancellation, 12 microphones, and expanded AI. They come in black, silver, and midnight blue and cost about $450. And finally, San Francisco's downtown is getting a boost with the opening of a massive Nintendo store. The 2-level, 9,000 square foot location offers pretty much anything every gamer would need, including specifically designed sections featuring Nintendo's most popular games. It marks Nintendo's second retail store in the US. Now, I heard Mario parked his cart outside the store and it got towed. Those are your Tech Bites.
Got one more, Antoine.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
How are folks 60 and older having fun these days?
Family cookouts.
Playing games.
Dancing in the park.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Friday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
I get nervous now.
I know. I'm waiting for
He's still in a good mood. You're in a good mood today, I think, right?
Yeah. They're such good sports because the graphics actually queued up here, so they could see, but they never do because they want to build up the suspense.
I should be aware of my surroundings.
I don't want to look because then I feel like you'd see it on my face.
Well, the suspense is over because the jackpot went up again. It's now up to $625.
You're crushing it.
Thank you very much, and thank you to our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel for sponsoring our 3-degree guarantee. Yesterday, I went with a forecast high of 70 in Pasco Tri-Cities. I was on the wrong graphic, but there we go. Went with forecast high of 70 in Pasco Tri-Cities and it verified at 71, so the jackpot went up to $625. So for today, I'm going with a forecast high of 71 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 68 to 74, the jackpot's going to go up to $650. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours, and it's a good one. So go to applevalleyNewsNow.com, click on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, for Sunday, another first alert weather day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Kittitas Valley peak wind gusts could be between 60 to 65 miles per hour. We'll have more to say about that later in the show, but for this morning, it's even breezy out there. Breezy in the Kittitas Valley, breezy in the Blue Foothills, Blue Mountains, also in the lower Columbia Basin. And keep that in mind when I show you some of these temperatures, 40s and 50s for lower elevations, but in the winds it could feel a little bit cooler. We're in the 30s for the Cascades and the Blues. We are tracking some light showers. Even I would classify it as sprinkles in the lower Columbia Basin and also some sprinkles in the Blue Foothills and Blue Mountains. It's going to end up being pretty dry for today. Do have some visibility concerns for U.S. Highway 12, Interstate 90, and some of these passes in the Blues. If you run into any of those thicker areas of fog, take it slow, use the low beams. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Mostly sunny skies, highs getting up into the low 70s, still about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year, but I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:32 now, and new this morning. We start this half hour of news in Richland, where an agriculture company is facing a major penalty.
Now, the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries announces a record-setting fine of $1.24 million against Pacific Agri-Services, LLC.
Yeah, the investigation began last August when the company failed to provide some key records during a routine compliance review. Once L&I got access to it, they uncovered multiple violations.
And this includes operating without a license, failing to properly disclose wages and job duties to nearly 5,000 workers, and not providing details about transportation or housing, especially concerning for H-2A foreign workers. In total, L&I says the violations left many workers unaware of their rights and vulnerable to exploitation. Pacific Agri-Services has filed an appeal.
5:33 and heading to Yakima now, where we do have an update on a house fire that broke out Wednesday morning. We've now learned that fire started when Barbara Hyde was home with her kids, and it was actually her 16-year-old daughter who helped get everyone out safely. Hyde tells us everything in the home's a total loss. That fire broke out just before 4 o'clock Wednesday morning on the 500 block of Hornby Road in Sunnyside. Yakima County fire crews say the fire started on the exterior of the house, and when they arrived, the caller was actually trying to put it out with a garden hose. Well, that fire spread to the attic and caused smoke and water damage with extensive damage to the roof. Now, the cause of that fire, you see the photos there on your screen of the damage done. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Staying in Yakima, the Yakima Training Center says they're suspending recreational activities. Now, this does not include the juvenile fishing pond and the archery range, but it does include hunting. YTC says the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife has been notified, and this comes with increasing military units training between June and December and fewer security officers and police on staff. Now, continuing our coverage on a local food truck owner who was detained by ICE agents, we're learning that a court hearing has now been set. Sergio Cerdillo Gomez was taken into ICE custody in Yakima back on April 24th. Now, Gabby Cerdillo, co-owner of Hibachi Explosion, who is his wife, she says her husband's court date is May 19th, and he's currently in Tacoma. And she says of the court hearing, she doesn't expect him to be released, but is hopeful to request a bond hearing, and reopen a case with him.
I hopefully it's approved and they will reset the hearing date. And if not, if they deny everything, then he will be self-deporting.
Sergio says their petition through marriage was denied, and when asked how her husband is doing, she responded that he's ready to come home. She also says her son is having a hard time coping, but he'll get the opportunity to see him this weekend, which will be the first time since April 23rd. And Sergio is hoping this hearing will lead to some answers.
Well, a well-known reading program for your children could soon be disappearing across the state because of state budget cuts. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has helped improve literacy for thousands of kids right here locally, encouraging lifelong reading habits.
And our very own Dan Hansen reports that the program's future with United Way of Benton and Franklin County is now uncertain.
Since launching in 2022, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has introduced nearly 7,000 children in Benton Franklin counties to the joy of reading. The program sends families a free book every month for each child from birth to age 5, helping kids build a love of books from the very beginning.
We know reading is the #1 thing that parents can do to help their children get ready for kindergarten. So mailing books to families is a great way to help parents support the early learning for their children.
But now, the future of that support is in jeopardy. The state legislature has decided not to include funding for the program in the upcoming 2025 to 2027 budget. That leaves local affiliates like United Way of Benton and Franklin counties scrambling to cover the full cost.
Here's what that looks like. The cost of just one book has doubled. That's $55,000 for Benton and Franklin County. And without help, thousands of children could lose access.
With so many kids currently enrolled, the future of the program hangs in the balance as United Way looks for new funding sources to keep it going.
Only 43% of local children in Benton and Franklin counties start kindergarten with all the skills they need to succeed. So we want to keep books coming. We want to see that number go up.
United Way is now turning to the community for help, asking for donations for the cause. Because early literacy doesn't just open books, it opens doors. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
So if you or someone you know wants to help support the program and keep the magic of the Imagination Library alive, you can make a donation through United Way's official donation page, and we have a link to that on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com.
Now, here locally, a Pasco entrepreneur has advanced to the quarterfinals in the national favorite chef competition. So Maria Aguirre has the opportunity to win $25,000 and be featured in the Taste of Home magazine. Now, this online competition highlights chefs of all industries, including small business owners. Aguirre plans to open Casa de Maria next month at the Pasco Specialty Kitchen, and she says there are not a lot of affordable morning dining options. So if she wins, she plans to put part of it towards her restaurant and donate some towards domestic violence services. People can vote daily at no cost or through donation-based votes, where the donations benefit the James Beard Foundation. And Aguirre shared what a vote for her means.
Being able to provide something that I feel is needed, while also the rest of the community benefiting from it, you know, not, like I said, not just with the tasty food, but hopefully me being able to give back in monetary ways or voluntary ways.
And the competition should wrap up in about 3 weeks. And as for the restaurant, Aguirre says there is no opening date set yet, but she anticipates it'll be in the middle of June. And the link to vote for Aguirre can be found up on our website.
Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, parks and pups. What more could you want? That's right. We have the weekend on our mind, and we are talking community events that you can take part of coming up after the break. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will have a look at your forecast and what you can expect as you head into the weekend. It's 5:39. We'll be right back.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now on your side.
Get ready, Walla Walla. The sweetest season is here. Join us at the ballpark as the Walla Walla Sweets hit the field for another unforgettable season. Whether you're a diehard fan or just looking for a fun night out, there's something for everyone at a Walla Walla Sweets game. Grab your peanuts, popcorn, and Lucky Cap, because this season the Walla Walla Sweets are bringing the thrill of baseball right to your backyard. Don't miss out on the excitement. Get your tickets now and be part of the Walla Walla Sweets experience. Let's play ball.
If you're having emotional, psychological, or severe anxiety issues, get medical help. Taking care of your mental health is vitally important. You can find out more at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Mental health services at Prosser Memorial Health's primary care clinics. Visit prosserhealth.org.
With fresh looks arriving monthly, there's always something new to love at Furniture Row. Like the Yukon reclining leather sectional, draped in top grain leather with a multifunctional console. The Yukon is the pinnacle of power reclining comfort. Or dine on the meadow lake. With a rounded edge top and eye-catching turned legs, this farmhouse-inspired set marries nostalgia and durability. And for your bedroom, the glamour. With sparkling LED-lit rhinestones, this upholstered bed creates a sophisticated glam sleeping sanctuary. Find the latest looks and more now at Furniture Row.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
Lather, rinse, repeat. It never feels like enough. It's not your products, it's your water. Culligan water softeners prevent damaging hard water buildup, revitalizing your hair and skin. Upgrade your routine with Culligan.
Bill Belichick. Everyone's talking about the former New England Patriot and now University of North Carolina football coach and legend. Now this morning, he's live on GMA. Michael Strahan with Bill Belichick, the morning exclusive. This morning, live on Good Morning America.
It's Idol's grand finale, live coast to coast.
You might just win this whole thing.
John, Brianna, Jamal. Who will be your next American Idol?
Dim the lights, and here we go.
American Idol grand finale live Sunday on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. Will be a little bit breezy today once again in the Cascades and the Kittitas Valley, but not as windy as it's been over the past couple of days, but peak gusts still up around 30 miles per hour. In the Yakima Valley, light winds overall, partly cloudy skies, highs getting into the low 70s. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, it will be breezy here. Gusts out of the south and west, peaking around 25 miles per hour. Also, highs are going to be in the low 70s. And the Blue Foothills will be in the 60s, partly cloudy skies, also a little bit breezy here. Winds out of the west and southwest, peak gust around 20 to 30 miles per hour. And we will have that chance of some showers primarily for this morning in the Blue Mountains, but later in the day, we should be much drier. But it's going to be much wetter as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Here's a preview of that storm system. So in the middle of this graphic, you can see the rainfall totals that we're expecting. Now on the left side of the graphic, these are the seasonal rainfall deficits and surpluses we're expecting heading into this storm system. And then on the right side of the graphic, that's how we're expecting these numbers to improve. So not much improvement in the valleys, maybe 3 to 4% percentage points of improvement in the lower Columbia Basin, and maybe perhaps a 4% improvement in the Blue Foothills, specifically in Walla Walla County, where we're running a deficit as opposed to the rest of our viewing area where we have seasonal rainfall surpluses.
All right, 5:44. Looking ahead to the weekend, we've got some events that are going to help fill up your calendar. So get ready to find your zen with a little side of tail wags.
We're talking about puppy yoga, which is happening this Sunday at CVRC Health and Fitness. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like.
You'll stretch, flow, and breathe while adorable puppies roam around during the class. It all benefits pet overpopulation prevention.
The fun starts at 2 p.m. They ask for a minimum $50 cash donation, with every dollar going to help animals find loving homes.
And it's perfect whether you're a hardcore yogi or just there for the puppy snuggles.
Dress for the outdoors, and keep in mind they'll reschedule if the weather or the puppies don't cooperate.
It's okay if the puppies don't cooperate. But really, what better way is there than to do a downward dog that way? There'll be a dog right under you. Yep. I know my dog always gets on the yoga mat if I'm stretching, so so cute.
Have you ever done animal yoga? You know,
I want to do goat yoga.
Yeah.
That is on my bucket list.
I've never done yoga.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, let's add it to your
list.
Let's add it to your list of adventure that you're going to have with us.
You can also add this. So if you're looking to do some spring cleaning or just looking for some cool new finds, this is the place just for you.
It's the community swap at Mid-Columbia Library in Kennewick. Think of it like a free garage sale, but better.
Cool.
You bring in nice, clean, usable stuff and then get to shop through what others have brought. No exact swapping required, just good old community sharing.
Oh, that's really cool. So you can start unloading at 12:30 p.m., but no picking until 1 o'clock sharp. And there are ground rules. Leave anything mildewed or broken at home.
Yeah, don't bring any yucky stuff. Everything wraps up around 3:30, and they always welcome volunteers to come help set up or take down. And don't forget, today the city of Richland is hosting the grand reopening of the newly reimagined playground at Howard Amon Park. And we've seen some sneak peeks of this new park, and it is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and the new features include a cruise boat themed play structure inspired by the iconic paddle wheel cruise ships that dock nearby during the summer months. And the expanded playground also offers improved accessibility and increased capacity.
The celebration starts at 11 a.m. Families are invited to enjoy free snow cones and take part in a number of fun activities.
I love it.
And hopefully some good weather, which you'll tell us about later in just a few minutes.
Don't.
What day was that? That was
all weekend long.
All weekend.
All weekend. Saturday. Sunday's better.
Okay.
Sorry to rain on the parade.
Literally.
Anyways.
Metaphorically.
Yeah, all right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And of course, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Josh Forecast.
Forecast. With your full first alert forecast, giving you that live look outside this morning from the Legends Casino Hotel Skycam at Richland's Columbia Point. That is where we normally see that paddle boat docked right there across the river. We're back right after the break.
When working, take breaks. Maybe go for a walk or get up and move around a bit, because taking care of your mental health is vitally important. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Mental health services at Prosser Memorial Health's primary care clinics. Visit prosserhealth.org.
Here comes the sun. Get moving with a new car from Overturf Kia. Find your ride with the new 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Named best in class for cargo and passenger space. Now just $38,990. Plus, get 3.9% interest for up to 48 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Hi there, I'm Stacy Lee, and it's time again for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick this Tuesday between 11 and 2, and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring those who serve.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% financing for 60 months on this Silverado. That's over $6,600 in average finance savings. See your community.
Live with Kelly and Mark, Alexander Skarsgård, plus the lovely and charming Howie Mandel.
Lovely and charming.
Lovely and charming.
That's what I aspire to be.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now. Judy Justice. Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Sunday is going to be a very active day of weather, specifically when it comes to the winds. First alert weather day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Kittitas Valley, peak wind gusts could be between 60 to 65 miles per hour. Let's show you how we get there. We'll start off with Futurecast this morning. Could have a few showers lingering into the late morning for the Bluefoot Hills and Blue Mountains. After that, it's going to end up being a mostly dry day, a mostly dry night as well. But between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., that's when we'll see the arrival of this next storm system out of the south and west. And it's going to end up being a pretty wet day after that. Now, it's not going to rain for the entirety of the day, but there will be chances for rain throughout the entirety of the day. But it's going to be pretty splotchy coverage. But we're expecting both showers and thunderstorms. Should be drier overall as we head into Sunday. But if you have outdoor plans for tomorrow, it'd be a great day to have that First Alert Weather app on hand. Of course, you can download it for free in the App Store or Google Play. Track the rain and the thunderstorms with interactive radar, and you can see an hour-by-hour breakdown of rain chances in your neck of the woods. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting from this storm system. Models have trended wetter, so unfortunately the valley still probably won't get that much, but maybe around 0.2 inches of rain for the basin, around ½ an inch for the foothills, the same thing for the Blues and the Cascades. Winds are going to come at us in waves this weekend. Wave number 1 is going to be on Saturday after 2 p.m. Peak gust around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, also around 50 miles per hour in the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County. Wave number 2 is going to be the much more significant one. This is why we're going with the First Alert Weather Day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Peak gust around 65 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 55 miles per hour in the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County. Really blustery across the map. Like I mentioned, drier into Sunday. We'll trend drier as we head into next week. Also, we'll trend a little bit warmer. Through Sunday, we'll be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal, but pretty normal for Monday through Thursday. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Showers and storms likely Saturday, maybe a leftover shower Sunday, then pleasant weather for much of next week. In Yakima, showers and storms likely tomorrow, then dry and warmer as we head into next week. For Ellensburg, damaging wind gusts possible Sunday, calmer winds Monday, but we could turn very windy again by Tuesday. In Hermiston, rain and thunderstorms likely Saturday, maybe a few sprinkles left over Sunday and Monday, then dry and pleasant spring weather Tuesday through Thursday. Finally, for Walla Walla, rain and storms likely tomorrow. Rain chances get cut in half Sunday and Monday, then a mostly dry and sunny week in store for next week.
Now, the morning sprint.
It's 5:52, time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
Here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Governor Bob Ferguson making a stop in Kennewick just yesterday, signing nearly a dozen new bills into law, alongside with the people who helped shape them. One bill will increase penalties for stealing equipment from first responders. Another bill will expand access to college scholarships for students who earn a GED. Most of the new laws will take effect July 1st.
An agriculture company in Richland is facing a record-setting fine. Pacific Agri-Services has been hit with a $1.24 million penalty from the state's Labor and Industries Department. Officials say the company operated without a license and failed to properly disclose job details to thousands of workers, including foreign H-2A employees. The company is appealing the violations.
Over in Sunnyside, City Hall will be closed today, not for repairs or for a holiday, but because of the flood of public record requests and recent lawsuits they've received. City leaders say staffing shortages made the temporary closure necessary, but they remain committed to transparency.
And with summer break right around the corner, Kennewick School District is making sure that no kid goes hungry. Through a partnership with the USDA, free meals will be offered to all kids 18 and under from June 16th to July 22nd, and no registration is needed. Just show up at one of the school sites that is taking part. That's Monday through Thursday, and the full schedule can be found on the Kennewick School District's website.
And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, maybe something relaxing, consider puppy yoga. The event kicks off this Sunday at CBRC Health Fitness in Richland. For a $50 donation, you can enjoy a yoga class while adorable puppies roam freely, and it all benefits pet overpopulation prevention.
Now to your national headlines this morning. Officials say a sextortion ring that targeted thousands of minors worldwide has been disrupted. Alfred Cassie and a group of 3 accomplices were arrested for their alleged role in the scheme. Now, U.S. federal prosecutors say thousands of people, including minors, throughout the U.S., Canada, the U.K., France, Spain, and Italy, were deceived into sending explicit images. They were then blackmailed in exchange for money or additional graphic content, and U.S. officials say because the area they were arrested in doesn't extradite its citizens to other countries, Cassie and his alleged accomplices will be prosecuted there under their nation's cybercrime laws.
All right, trending now this morning at 5:55, a man caught at a southern U.S. border entry trying to smuggle live parrots into the U.S. This all happened April 30th at the Otay Mesa port of entry.
So Customs and Border Protection said agents asked him to step out of his car and noticed that he had, quote, an unusual bulges around his ankles.
Said, hey, those are just my cankles. No. They found 6 parrots hidden inside the man's boots.
Oh, gosh.
When they searched his vehicle, agents discovered 6 more undeclared parrots near the front passenger seat. Oh, man, 2 were dead. That's really sad, actually.
So the birds were given to U.S. Agriculture Veterinary Services and put into quarantine.
Now, CBP says smuggling birds is extremely dangerous as birds carry diseases that pose serious threats to wildlife and agriculture. Unusual bulges around the ankles.
It's an odd place to put a bird.
Yeah, I guess there's really no good place to put it on your person. Maybe like except your head.
Maybe your shoulder?
Yeah. Oh yeah, your shoulder and your head. That's it.
Is that where they're supposed to hang out?
Yeah.
Oh,
people are weird.
Understatement.
Yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We're no different. We're just as weird. A beloved program that put free books into the hands of thousands of local kids may be turning its final page. Why Dolly Parton's Imagination Library could soon disappear from Washington.
And from a tree in New Mexico to a new best friend in Washington, we'll meet an orphaned cougar cub who's starting fresh at a Washington wildlife park. How cute. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Tracking some very active weather for this weekend. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Saturday. Very strong wind gusts once again on Sunday. That's why we're going with the first alert weather day. I'll tell you for who coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.